I don't know about you, but I can't remember at my school ever seeing kids with disabilities being involved in sport like this.
No, and that's what's great about obviously having the Paralympics in England, in London. It's given the kids in the country a chance to try different sports that they would never try. You know, you see the kids running around here with Dave Clark, who's the captain of the England blind football team, and kids are running around with blindfolds on, where usually, you know, and I'm used to it. I'm used to seeing the ball coming. I'm used to seeing where it's going when I've kicked it. You know, these guys are unbelievable people that have got this talent and the disability that they've got. They've made it into, you know, being part of the Paralympics. So, you know, for kids to try this, 2 million kids around the country have now tried a Paralympic sport. That's an amazing number, and it's going to inspire a number of kids now with disabilities and without disabilities to take part.
And what are your memories of school? Did you have any disabled friends? Did you have any disabled kids at your school? What did they do?
Yeah, there was a couple of disabled kids that we had at our school, but you know, I like you said, I don't remember there being anything like this at my school when I was young. It was quite a few years ago, but you know, there was nothing like this, so it's special.
I mean, there is a bit of I think sometimes I live in a bit of a bubble because I cover Paralympic sport, and obviously you're a professional athlete and you're involved heavily. Do you think the rest of the country's getting it? Have we got the message through to them yet?
They must do, because when you want to start something and create an interest, you do it with the kids. And to have 2 million kids try a Paralympic sport around the country, you know, it sets a kind of a buzz around. And you've seen the interest here today with obviously the media, and you've seen the interest, you know, with the kids. You know, that doesn't happen because people are not interested. So, you know, it's going to be a great thing to have the Paralympics going on.
Look, you've been involved in both Paralympics and the Olympics for, well, since before we even started to try and bring it to these shores. You know, you're a part of it. Mm-hmm. Has Seb given you the nod for the torch yet?
No. You know, I think, you know, Seb's done an amazing job. You know what he did to bring the Olympics here. He's done a really incredible job with his team, and I was proud to be part of that in Singapore. You know, to be asked to, you know, and I'd never taken part in the Olympics, so to be asked to come on and try to bring it back to England was amazing. But
would you like to do a bit more of the torch stuff?
I'd like to do.
Your name's often mentioned involved.
I'd like to do more of the ambassadorial stuff. I enjoy that, but I think my view has always been, you know, an Olympian should be carrying the torch and lighting the cauldron. That's my personal opinion. Not that it matters for much, but you know, that's the truth. I believe that's why it should be.
But of course, there is still a very good chance that you'll be involved, that you will be an Olympian. Piercy giving you a call yet?
Not yet. You know, he came over and watched the game, and we talked for a little bit, but not about anything in particular, not about the Olympics or the team. It was just a general chat about the family and about how I was feeling and whether I was fit. And you know, so no, he hasn't obviously decided the team yet. But yeah, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I would love to be involved. I've been proud to obviously represent my country for many years and for 115 times. So to represent, you know, the GB team would be special.
Obviously, there's another football event about to kick off, Poland-Ukraine. You're probably not going to go. I mean, the expectations at the moment seem to have been tempered a little bit because, you know, the last few competitions, obviously, we haven't done terribly well. Where do you think we are? Do you think we can qualify?
I think we're in a good position. Simple as that. Because I think, you know, you know, and I've been part of it. I've seen it. You know, I've seen the expectations that are around the country, and without a doubt, those expectations will be the same once the team arrive, and once the team are there, and once the team perform in that first game. Expectations are always going to be high in our country because of the players, because of the talent that we've got. But obviously, you know, there's a new manager. We've got young players coming into the team. There's a new set up. So
what do you think of Roy?
I think he's great. You know, he's got experience in the game. That's one of the biggest things that you know.
Right man for the job?
Will lead for success, of course. You know, I think at the end of the day, he's brought Gary in, who's got great experience. So, our fans are going to be well behind, this team. They always are. It doesn't matter whether we're winning, whether we're losing. Our fans turn up and they support us. So it's a good thing.
You mentioned the fans. I'm sure you will have seen the concerns about violence, and in particular, fears for black and Asian players and fans.
Yeah.
Just from a personal perspective, would you take your kids to see a game in Ukraine?
Yeah, I would. But
you wouldn't feel worried?
No, I wouldn't at the end of the day. But I think there are concerns and there are worries. But at the end of the day, our organisations around the country have done amazing things with racism, kicking it out of the game. And other countries need to look at that. Simple as that. Racism has been kicked out of the game in our country for quite a number of years now, and it's been the hard work of the FA, it's been the hard work of different organisations and people around, and also ex-black players that have got involved, and that's an amazing thing to happen. So our fans, no matter what people say to them, they're going to travel and they're going to be supporting and well behind and right behind our team. So it's just simple messages like whenever we go to a big competition, it doesn't matter where it is, there's always concerns with fans. So our fans need to be safe. Yeah, everyone needs to be sensible, simple as that. But there still needs to be a lot of work done in other countries to kick racism out of the game.
Talking about fans and moving on to players, the mercurial Balotelli said that in his mind it's clear, if he heard or received any abuse, he'd walk off the pitch. As a white player and you heard a black colleague being abused, would you join that player in walking off?
Of course, without a doubt.
Would you lead them off as a senior player? Would you say enough's enough, we've got to go?
There's mixed feelings with that, because I think if you walk off, then you've given them the advantage and you've let them win. So you play the game, you win the game, you perform. Simple as that. Mario's a character. Simple as that. He's a great footballer, but he's a character, and the game needs characters. The fact that he feels so strongly about the racism side is an amazing thing, because it makes people sit up and it makes people notice and makes people see the problems. So if he walked off, I think that if he stayed on the field and played, that's a bigger message for me, because then people like that and people that do that kind of thing don't win.
But if one of your colleagues turned around and said, "I can't. This is out of order. I'm off," you'd go with them?
Without a doubt, I'd be supportive to whoever I was playing with or whoever I was playing against.
That's a lot of work still needs to be done, as you say. Over the years, do you think that white players have done enough to stand by their black colleagues?
I think they have. Yeah, I think they have. The teams that I've played for, the players that I've played with, the players that I've played against, everyone wants racism kicked out of the game. Simple as that. No one wants to see that. And to be honest, when I played, I don't think I ever heard racism on the field against players. So, a lot of work has been done. There's still some work to be done. But in our country, we've done an amazing job with that.
You got a new mate in the White House.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was amazing. From the moment I walked in, and the president was like, "What, David? Seriously, why so much facial hair, man?" And I was like, "What can you say? He's got quite a few Secret Service guys around him, so I couldn't really come back with anything." But
if you could have come back, what would you have said?
I honestly don't know. It's the President of the United States. What do you say? But no, it was a huge honour, obviously, to be invited there by him and by the First Lady, and it was an honour to be there. So to get a bit of stick for him from him for quite a few minutes, I was honoured.
And did you get to chat to him behind the scenes, or was it just what we saw on the cameras?
No, I spoke to him behind the scenes and spoke to him about certain things that obviously he's involved in, and obviously his wife's involved in, because she also does some amazing work with kids around the country. So we spent some time with them, also with some kids as well, and it was good.
And was Victoria there? Did she get to meet Michelle?
No, because obviously the kids were in. We've met Michelle once before, and I've met the president a couple of times before, and Victoria was back in LA with the kids because they were at school.
So obviously back to LA soon, signed a new contract. As I said, we're kind of the same age. How long have those legs got in them? How many more years?
A few more years left. A few more years. You know, I enjoy playing. It's simple as that. When I don't enjoy it, then I'll know that's the right time to stop. But right now, you know, I love the game. So.
And obviously LA's home, but would you ever consider if a Premier League team came knocking? What would you say?
I'd say I'm 37 years old. So it's you know, if they came knocking, you know, last year I had an opportunity to obviously go to Paris Saint-Germain, and I was very honoured by that. You know, to be wanted still by a big European club at 37 years old, 36 at the time, but you know, it meant a lot. So I still play, I still enjoy playing, but I'll always miss home. You know, London's home for me.
Look, I mean, Brand Beckham, you could retire and never work another day in your life, but you're a man that's shown over the years that you do work hard. When you look at people like Didier potentially going to Shanghai, 300 grand a week, would you consider moving to China?
For that? I think many people would look at that, and but you know, there's always figures thrown up in the air. But Didier's had a great career, you know, a great ending to his Chelsea career. You know, I'm happy for him because he's a good guy and a hell of a player as well. So good luck to him. If he's going to go and live in a different country and play again, then we'll see. But you know, I'm happy where I am.